Hey, Corkie.
What, Brain?
You know what I'm thinking?
I think so.
What? You never know what I'm thinking.
Oh.
Listen, I was reading this article about scientists have looked into what love is, and they say it's a bunch of chemical reactions, between people. What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about LOVE,
Chemicals?
Yeah.
Ah, come on, no.
Well, what do you think love is?
Love is sweet and kind and generous and,
really?
Yeah. I mean, when you're in high school, yeah, he's got to be the gorgeous guy. He's got to be the hot guy that's on the football team. And he's got to... But what about his character? What about what he can do for you, for me?
So you're saying love is more than just the reaction of seeing somebody pretty or beautiful? It's something that actually exists. It's something that can be created or has more depth to it than that?
I think so. Yeah. Well, like when we fell in love. Yeah. Took me a while.
It did?
Yeah. Well, I remember.
I was so handsome.
I know. Well, we're sitting there in the truck, and we were stopped, but you didn't look at me, and you were looking straight out the window, and you were saying, I really want to have a loving relationship. I want to have a solid, really good relationship with someone. I'm looking for, someone that, that I can be with and want to be with and loves me. And you were saying all the right things.
Well, I was just speaking from my heart, see?
That's what I felt. And that was the first time I heard you talk from your heart. Because all the other stuff was like superficial and well, do you want to go here? Do you want to go there? And it was all superficial. But when you started coming from your heart,
yeah.
Wow.
No, you grabbed me and kissed me.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, I know. I wanted to shut you up. So I turned your head toward me and I kissed you.
Yes,
yeah,
you did.
I did. Wow.
So that's love, huh?
Yeah, that was love.
Mm-hmm.
But then we went shopping.
Yeah.
And I think I said something like, gee, I wish I had a toolbox. And you probably thought that was a little weird, but next thing I know, you bought me a toolbox. And I'm sure it sounds kind of corny, but it was so romantic to me.
So I was paying attention.
Exactly.
So when two people pay attention to each other, mm-hmm. and they know what each other wants or likes, whether it's mm-hmm. They like a color blue or they like to go walking or something. Mm-hmm. So if you pay attention to the other person and you give that to the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was it.
Is that how it works?
That's how it worked, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you
so really
Twitter pated me.
So I'll have to look that up. Twitter pated. I got it right now. Okay.
It's in Thumper and Bambi. He talked about being Twitter pated. He's a rabbit. Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah.
I watched a lot of cartoons in my day.
I see.
5 kids. Yeah.
That's your source of knowledge.
That's my source of knowledge.
Okay.
Twitter baited.
So, if I understand what you're saying right, then real, true love, not just, hey, I'd like that person to have some fun with, mm-hmm. But real, true love with is when two people talk to each other, get to know each other enough, that you start to understand what that other person's view of the world is, what their dreams are, what their hopes are, what they like, what
mm-hmm.
they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So when you learn about this person, you start calculating, mm-hmm. and then you do one of those for them.
Yeah.
And they do the same thing for you, mm-hmm. and that brings you kind of closer together.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were compatible. I was looking at it, the whole scenario, and you said, well, I live in an RV, and I traveled here, and I took my granddaughter over here, and I did all these things, and it just sounded, wow, okay, well, this, check off, this is good, it's like my check off list, and
Now, let me ask you about check off lists. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have check off lists. I know some guys who said, well, she doesn't match my check off list. But their checkoff list is so narrow. Like they got to be 5 foot 2.5 inches. They got to be certain color this or so. Is it possible that sometimes people make their checkoff lists in terms of what they want the other person to be too narrow, so that they really exclude any possibility of meeting somebody. Because the
true.
checkoff list is not real. It's not, it's
my
more
checkoff
fantasy.
list was more like he likes to travel, he's snuggly, he's kind, he takes me places, he thinks of me, he wants to spend time. Time is a really big thing with me. Huge. And you wanted to spend time with me.
So in order to make the right checkoff list for yourself, you have to know yourself in terms of what you want out of life. You know, I've heard sometimes that the biggest mistakes, I don't know, I can only, I'm going to say this and you can challenge it, but that women make is they will have a checkoff list. And the guy doesn't quite fit that, but she says to herself, oh, I can change him. Oh, I can fix it. Oh, let me just get married to him or get into a serious relationship. Then I'll work on that. Okay,
No,
is that a good idea?
No, you know, I'm not 20 years old and I'm not 30 years old. I'm not even 40. I'm a little bit more than that. But, you know, after you go through things in life, you realize that changing someone, when you do that, you actually put them in a cage. You confine them. You make them somebody who they aren't.
Right.
And then you don't like them anymore.
Right.
Because you've made them somebody that you don't like.
Or that person that you put into that cage because of what your requirements are, and they didn't initially match up to 99% of it. They only matched up to 30% of it. And you said, oh, I can fix the rest. I get my toolbox.
I get my toolbox.
And I'm working on. That person that you work on pretty soon feels like, what's she doing or what's he doing? You know, they want me to do this. I don't want to do that. Or, you mean I can't watch my movies anymore that I like? Or, you mean I can't go fishing anymore?
Yeah.
But I like to do that stuff. So,
They change.
I think you're right.
Then they change because they're not happy.
Yeah.
And then they become the person that you don't like because they weren't the person you met. They were fun and friendly and free and happy. And then you put them in this cage and then they're not happy anymore.
Right.
Then you don't like that. And
Right.
so you want to get rid of them.
Because they react against that confinement.
Right. And so I think that might cause, it just dawned on me, that might cause a lot of divorces. People think that they can change the other person. I'm sure some men think they can change some women too. I don't think it's just all in the women.
No,
thinking.
it's not, but that's mostly what you hear about because you hear about women planning out, this is the perfect man, this is the guy I'm going to marry. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, why don't you just get to know the person?
Yeah.
Why have this preconceived notion that they have to be this narrow print, charming person when they may be a very, very adorable, good person to love?
And you're a really good person and adorable to love.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So remember the first time you told me you loved me?
Yeah, I do.
You sure? Yes. Well, I remember because you you said "je t'aime," and I don't know French, so I had no idea what you just said. So I'm thinking in my mind, he's kissing me, and he said "je t'aime," and I'm like, what was he just say?
That was my romance.
I know it was very romantic. Except, you could have been, telling me to cook the spaghetti or something. I had no idea what you were saying. But
okay.
you are my knight in shining armor.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
And I think that's what every woman is looking for. Is just a man that will just, think of her and want to be with her and even just little texts and the little things that really make a difference.
So you're talking about romance.
And sometimes, men have an idea differently about...
Well, men are goal-driven, so in work and in love and everything, they have a goal in mind when they start out on something. And that might apply to romance, too.
I know. Yeah, I know. So it might be that a woman, her romance would be that her man would just sweep her up into his arms and pick her up and carry her down to the bedroom.
Right.
And lay her down gently in the bed. And then go and do the dishes for her.
What?
Go and do the dishes for her.
So that's the way she thinks about it.
Well, see, she doesn't want to do the dishes, and she's been working hard all day, and he's being thoughtful. And it would be just so romantic if he would just, he just knew that she wanted the baby's diaper changed, or just let her take a nap for a half an hour.
Well, now, that doesn't have to be romance like that all the time, does it? I mean,
no, just sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But see, then she feels more like loving him and paying attention to him and doing the things he likes to do.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, so it works together. It's kind of a give and take thing. So that's it for now.
Okay.
And love one another and do good things for each other.
Yeah, that sounds great.